Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I believe you're doing well from wherever you're watching from. My name is Jane Amisi. I'm welcoming you to this show. It is the topic we are attending today is inspiring excellence at the workplace. So I've mentioned my name is Jane Amisi. I'm a land officer at the headquarters, Ministry of Lands. But as always and with everyone else, we wear so many hats at a go. Other than that, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a sister and everything else. Most important, especially for this moment, I'm a leadership development coach and speaker. This is my passion. Other than the work that I do, this is my contribution and my way of giving back. And especially during this time, it is a moment that we have the ability and the capacity, given the social media around, to really talk and engage much better with our audience, with our professional fraternity, and literally with everyone who is available and who is ready to grow, who is ready to develop and reach even a better or greater discovery of themselves. So, I welcome you once more to this session of Inspiring Excellence. This session of excellence, especially during this period, it's a kind of a very difficult aspect to look for when people are down. But excellence will always be something that is greater, something that is out of our way at any time. Be it a normal season, be it out of season, it is something that you got to push yourself to attain. So, excellence at the workplace. You know, the organizations where we work, and I would say organization is everywhere. You are in an organization by the time you're in your family. You have an organization at your marketplace where you purchase things day in, day out. You want to be known as someone there. That's an organization. We've got social gatherings. We've got the church. So literally, organization or our workplace is something that surrounds us from the time we are born to the time we go out. Actually, someone said that we are born in an organization. We are educated in an organization. We live in an organization. We spend, we play. Eventually, we die in an organization. And once they send us back safely and happily, or maybe not happily, but they are there for us up to the last moment. But we find despite this prominent role of organizations or of our workplaces, many of us don't appreciate our workplaces. We don't give it the real value that it deserves. So, as an employee, as a manager, as a leader in your organization, we've got varying degrees of value for the places where we work. There are people who are greatly committed. There are people who go there to perform their duties, to sign maybe. Long time we could hang our coats in the office and just move out. That would maybe look kind of ignorance, laziness, but it has a deeper meaning than just hanging the coat there. It showed non-commitment. It showed lack of love or lack of care for the results of the organization. So, marketplace, our workplace, it comprises of several things. We have systems, we've got the subsystems, we've got the technology, we've got our people, we've got the structure, we've got a number of things, and all these things come together in an organization or our workplace. And when you consider your workplace, we consider that its total whole. its entirety is more important than these subsystems. And how well these subsystems are coordinated and blended together to bring out that high productivity, that high level of success, the excellence in this aspect is what makes the difference. This is what would determine whether you go out and give your best or whether you just come in to fill in your name and move out. So who is responsible for this? Who is responsible for blending the organization systems, the resources, the structures in a way that would bring out the real flavor of work, that would really link up, that would really meet the customer's desires, whether you are in a service organization or any other. Significant aspect is that you got to produce something that is of value to your clients. You've got to provide the significance. You've got to give out the value for what they pay. The value also for your being there. You've got to satisfy the role that you are taking. So the whole issue of being an excellent organization or a workplace involves a complex interaction of all these factors together. And for you to do all this, someone is responsible. And this person is not you, it is not me, but it is all of us in an organization. Everyone has the responsibility to play their part. But eventually, the overall person in charge is the leader. And who is the leader here? You know, many times we look at each other. You look at your boss as the leader. You look at your colleagues as the leader. You look at your immediate supervisor. But in a way, we are all leaders. In an organization, every person who has influence is a leader. You influence the work that you do. You influence the clients who come to you. You influence the structure of that organization. You influence how each minute is spent in that organization. And you are a leader. Yes, you are a leader. Yes, we look to our bosses because they are in charge overall. The whole bundle of work, the whole responsibility rests with our leaders. And for this case, they are in charge. They contribute to the excellence of the organization. And there are so many things that we would say comprise what an excellent organization is. We've got vision, we've got the structure, we've got motivation of employees, we've got rewards, we've got performance review, we've got teams. There is a whole lot of issues that you would say would make an excellent organization. But it is the productivity, it is the combination of all of this that brings that real flavor of performance. What would exalt you up? What would make you rise up above other organizations and be recognized, either within your field, within your environment, or even worldwide, as an excellent organization? Okay. So as managers, we have the responsibilities. As managers and as leaders, we have the responsibility to blend the framework of the organization and all its components to a level that it succeeds. You influence as a leader. So to appreciate the significance of every unique leader, they have to bring their uniqueness out. They've got to set themselves in a way that they are understood. You know, I remember when we were newly recruited, I think 2 to 3 years after, our senior leader by then took us, I think, to the boardroom, and we were asked, what is the vision of this department? Believe it, we didn't know. It had never even occurred to us, even to read, despite that it was exposed at every corner of the organization. In our own department, it was bold outside the department. We didn't know. So it is not just a matter of me as a manager, me as the leader. You've created the vision, it is there. It is not that you are rewarding the employees. It is not that you've allocated them the responsibilities that they are to do. Such things maybe happen in games where you take your role and you do it systematically, you practice it over and over, and you know it. But when it comes to engaging employees, when it comes to motivating employees, inspiring them to bring out their very best, the role of a leader or a manager is not the easiest. It is not a direct issue. It is somehow indirectly. What motivates employees to bring out their best performance is inward, deep within them. And that is what we are learning today, that influencing the bottom line of the organization may not come with a reluctant leader or a mediocre leader or poor kind of leadership, because of the challenges that are involved in, first of all, dealing with people, dealing with the environment such as today, and even dealing with the structure of the organization. Okay. As a leader, there are so many expectations. There's so many expectations that we have already mentioned, the vision, managing people and all. But for you to influence, you must have the capacity to influence the character of employees. You must have the capacity to influence their behavior, to influence their development in ways that would motivate them to give out their highest performance or productivity, and also that works in harmony with all other structures of the organization. That is when your organization will be counted as an excellent organization. Harmonizing all these aspects together will come out as your internal framework or your structure that brings out your specific standards, your processes of how you work as an organization. And this eventually, when done together with employees, they feel motivated, they feel engaged to deliver the products, the services that fulfill your desire as an organization. So, how do you bring yourself as a leader to motivate or to enable employees to bring out their superior performance? You know, initially, I thought you work hard, and this is a phrase that we are always being told, hard work pays. You get committed to working hard day and out, and you know, most of us break our backs, but at the end of the day you realize, how hard do I still need to work to be there? That is still even the question most leaders ask today. How hard do I need to work for my organization to be excellent? And today, I want to share with us some 4 questions that are really going to help us in being consistent as a leader. You know, consistency, would be weighed on a number of issues. You know, as a leader, you serve as a role model. You provide your employees with a good example. They look up to you. And not just physical, like the work you've given them. They read your behavior. They read through your words. A leader who is consistent says one thing and sticks with what they've said. They honor their commitment. They follow through the commitments that they have given. These are some of the things that are both evident in excellent organizations, and they're also evident in consistent and successful leaders. We all know that excellent organizations, let's say Nike, when you go to buy your product, you go to buy shoes, sports shoes, you are not doubting. At the back of your mind, you are paying for what you know is quality. Because over the years, they've been reliable, they've been consistent through their products. Day in, day out, they provide quality service. And I don't know whether many would agree with Safaricom also. It has come out as an excellent organization. Why? Because most of our needs are met. We pay for it dearly, but we appreciate the level of service that we get, we acquire. Transactions in money, transactions even just in call, because they are predictable, they are consistent, they stand with what they've done. Being inconsistent can nullify every quality that we have as a leader. There is a study that was done where 360 response or assessments were done on leaders based on their level of consistency. About 20% of leaders were found to be inconsistent. That is about 20,000 leaders were found in about 20% level, the lowest level of being inconsistent. It's not that these leaders did not have the capacity or the abilities to meet the organization's requirements, but their inability to stand for their words, their inability to provide value day in, day out, rated them very low. So you come out as someone who does not care about the clients, you come out as someone who does not value the work, and therefore you do not value the organization. And because the organization is there for us, you may not even be seen to value yourself as a whole. So inconsistent behaviors are such like making inconsistent decisions, changing here, changing out, lack of trust among employees, failure to follow through your objectives, resisting steps that would help the organizations to improve. So it will eventually, inconsistent leadership and actions, eventually nullifies everything that you have built over time. And if you are on the way building yourself into a level of leadership, it as well erodes all your efforts. You come out as inconsistent, and there is no much value that is built with inconsistency. So the first question that I would ask us in building consistency, or that would help us to grow in our consistency, is what do you want to work on? What do you want to work on as a leader? There is so much that is being worked on, but unless we answer our sense of what, you answer your sense of what am I going to do today in an organization? I've mentioned how we were asked, what is the vision of this organization? What is our mission? We can get up every morning with determination. I believe I use Mombasa Road every day, and I have to get up very early to come to work. It's a sense of determination that today I have the strength, I have the willpower to go out. But specifically, what am I going to do to improve myself, to improve my work, to improve the organization that I serve? Specifically, what is it that I'm going to do? Someone said that you've got to get up every morning with a sense of determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. That determination, where do you direct that determination? What is it? What is it that you're determined to do? Do you wake up every morning because you are excited about the job that you're going to do, because you love the job? And of course, a job that you love, you know how to do well. Time passes so fast. You interact. Are you excited about going to your job because you're going to build relationships? Today, our organizations succeed, excel through teamwork. A team who can bond together, team who can make decisions. What is your contribution? So the what here is very, very important in our ambitions. Many of us think when you improve on your job, when you know how to do your job perfectly, excellently, you've got the skills, you're going to succeed. I tend to believe that it is rather very hard to succeed by understanding your job perfectly and not improving yourself. Because let's look at the development of management. There are days that we used to work based on your strength and the time our work, the traditional nature of work where we would work mechanically, where our strength was more valued and not thinking. How far did we go with that? I would say that what is expected of us, the word here involves our personal development, understanding, engaging your mental abilities in the work that you do. That would mean enriching your job with your own input, having the ability to find meaning in this job, having the ability to make decisions in this job, having the ability to take your mental capacity in reasoning in a manner that you add value to the organization. So I would say that getting efficient in doing the work is just not everything. Many of us have put on very good amount of work in our job, but they are not there. What is the lacking aspect here that I would suggest is to have your personal mental capability in this work. Engage in the work. Add value to the work. Let it be meaningful to you. Let it satisfy that what question. And this helps you to grow. This helps you to grow. When you own the job, when you own the task at hand, you're able to manipulate it. You are able to carry on what you have learned, the practical ability that you have learned. You are able to adapt it to another environment. And that is what creates value. This is what creates excellence. This is what we are paid for, rather than merely going through the job. So it is not mastering the job. I strongly believe that we got to master ourselves in this. We got to master ourselves and take advantage of whom we are, engage with the job, engage with the people that we interact with in this job to be an excellent organization. And this is why excellent organizations that do well, respond adequately to their clients' needs. Clients' needs are varied, but because they can translate, they can adapt what they have inwardly and meet the client's need, they excel. So I would suggest to us that the number one point is to know your what. And knowing the what here is going beyond your ability to do the job. It is adding on to what you have. You develop yourself and own the job so that you are able to deliver with added value to your job. The second aspect, or the second question that we could ask ourselves here is, do you know how you are supposed to improve? Do you know how you're supposed to improve your organization to be an excellent organization? You know, here public speakers, or we call motivational speakers, have been blamed. Most people say, there is nothing much in motivational speakers. In fact, there are people who hate motivational speakers because they encourage you, they inspire you to do something. And for a moment you feel, I got the energy. I feel like, right, I'm equipped. You feel inspired inwardly. You go back to work after maybe a very well-organized, inspiring conference. After 2 weeks, the energy starts waning down. It's like people ask you, hey, Jen, you were so excited. You were full of energy during that time. What happened? Several excuses would follow. But why? Because you did not consider your how to do it. And this is where learning comes in. You got to match your motivation with whom you are inwardly. You know, we are different people. Everyone is different. We've got different people. We've got people who are very straightforward and like my type. We've got people who are very straightforward. They can make their decisions right at that moment. No nonsense. These are people who can help us during hard times of making decisions. maybe. They are soft people who can help to communicate with others, to bring a difficult situation down to a level where people can argue and talk. We've got different types of people. Anyone would like to know maybe their type of nature. There are psychological tests that you can do severally. There are a number that give us our personality profiles and what goes with them. I believe that to be an excellent organization, to be an excellent leader, to be excellent in your own performance, you're going to match what you're doing with your personality. Align your personality with what you do or what you want to do. There are organizations known. We've got non-organizations. We know their culture. We've got the government. We know their culture. We've got private organizations. We understand the culture. That is their personality. But this personality, the tone of this personality is set by the leadership, by the executives. It is set by the teams. It is set by the individual, you and me. So we tend to do much better when we align what we got to do with our personality. You got to understand your strengths. You got to understand your weaknesses and work on them based on whom you are. We work better from our zone of strength than our zone of weakness. You may improve your weakness over time, but you are better on to operate from your zone of strength. I always liken this to soccer. My family, me and my family, we are Man U members. Yes, we are Man U. To my last born, who is now 8 years old. When Man U plays, we are there, and we can feel it. Like now, we are excited. But yes, how do they play? Each player is at their strategic point. They play, they are strategic. Everyone is playing the field where they know they can deliver best. It's not an outright thing that they're going to win, but you are positioned to where you are going to play your best. And that is the same with organization. It is the same with your family. It is the same in whatever capacity you lead in or in whatever organization you are placed in. So find out, what is your personality? What is your what do you like doing most? What really brings you to life? What would you say you do without much thought? What would you say, give it to me, I'll handle that? Okay, once you know that, start with the simple. Pick the low-hanging fruit. Go with what you can go with, okay? The common thing is that we engage too much, and therefore we deliver very little. Take the complex thing, break them into smaller particles, the smaller things. The easy and simple steps will help you not only to enjoy the process, but to give value. Before you know it, it will be a goal that is already done, finished and accomplished. All right? So, be patient as well. Everything that I know takes time. Be patient. Take every endeavor that you take. Consider the time for developing yourself. Consider the cost for developing yourself. All these organizations consider. And the more thought you give to this, the more your outcome will be more considered. It would have been worthwhile of your time. Then value the process. Value the process. This is still in how. Start simple. Be patient. Value the process. Everything that we do is a journey. Look back into your school life. It's such a journey from the time you could not read to the time in high school, to the teachers who talked to you, to the ones you fought, to the classes you missed. This is all a journey. It is a journey. Excellent organizations have journey. They have stories behind their journey. And they appreciate every value of it, every aspect of it. So to grow, to change, and to arrive at a level where you'd call yourself excellent, you got to value. You got to value the process that you are living in. Because, arriving at that excellence aspect, it's like the yearly goals that we normally have. Everyone has an annual goal. I believe even this year, in 2020, we had resolutions. I wonder how many of them has achieved it. 2021, here we are. I believe most of us have had now bigger goals, including 2020 and 2021 altogether. But you got to push yourself, bit by bit, daily, day in, day out. It is these daily habits, the processes, what you go through, that take you eventually to that goal. I would say you could also liken this to your goal and accomplishment. There is this aspect of discipline. Consider discipline here as the bridge that you pass in towards your goal. The discipline is the bridge between your goal and accomplishment. The things that you do in between here, the habits, you got to cross a bridge day in, day out. You got to cross a bridge day in, day out. With time, this crossing in becomes a habit. And these habits are the specific activities. And you got to engage in this every day. You got to engage, including the days you miss the mark, including the days you lack, and including the days that you celebrate. So those small victories are counted. When you value your process, you can change the things that are big. You can change the larger goal. There are so many things that you just tweak and the process changes. But because you are consistent in your delivery. Then the third point is know your why. Know your why. Know your why. What is your sense of purpose? Why are we here now? Why am I here today? Why am I here today? And why are you listening to this? Your sense of why is a why power. It is a power in its own. It gives you the energy. It gives you the enthusiasm. When you are weighed down, it is your willpower. What keeps you consistent? Without a strong value of what you want, without a strong sense of the rewards, of the benefits why I do speaking day in, day out, I would not be here today. Organizations without a sense of purpose do not succeed. A leader without a sense of purpose will not succeed. It is so easy to give up. There is a story I heard of a salesperson who had, late in the evening after hard work, he decided to have something to eat, relax maybe in a restaurant. And then he was asked, he saw large storm, huge storm, and it was raining. And he just peeped through the window and asked the waiter, "Hey, do you think tomorrow will be good enough to go out? Do you think the weather would be good enough to move out tomorrow?" And the waiter looked at him keenly and told him, "It depends whether you are on salary or you are on commission. Your sense of why will give you the strength to move on despite the weather. It will help you to storm whatever weather that they're in." So it is important to nurture that discipline of knowing your why in every situation. Every dream is valid, but how many of us have achieved such dreams? But those who understand the value of what they are doing, the purpose of what they are doing, go through their value. You wonder how. In 2020, when we were all down, there were people who earned millions. How did they manage? Just how? There are companies that actually made huge profits. Just how did they weather the storm? Because they understood their sense of purpose. So have a solid enough reason to inspire you to excellence, to inspire you to consistent growth. Because when you grow consistently, When you have your sense of why that keeps pushing you, you expand your horizons. You failed today, but you have understood the reason why you failed. Organizations have analysis at the end of every, maybe 3 months, 4 months, where they analyze what they have done, why they have failed, where they failed, what can they still explore, what are their resources, what is within their reach. This comes to individual. Of course, when the organization does it, the leaders have to do it. And when the leaders have to analyze, the employees have to do it. So tap into this sense of why. Understand, why am I here today? Maybe just a few questions to help you know your why. If you find yourself constantly procrastinating on important tasks, what does that tell you about your why? Are you ever forced to go to do your work? That should tell you about your sense of why. Do you only complete your duties just to get by? For what not to do? That tells you about your sense of why. Do the efforts of your friends irritate you? Do you start small projects and abandon them halfway? How do you tackle your improvement opportunities? So the more reasons you have, the more reason or the more ways you'll pursue your purpose as an organization, as an individual, or whoever you are. So give yourselves more reason. Be it a business you're pursuing. I know this is a professional group. Give yourselves more reason today. Give yourselves more reasons that your business has to stand. Give yourself more reasons that we got to do this. You know, we have one Kenyan athlete, Bernard Kiplangat. When he did his long races way back, I think during the 80s or early 90s in Sydney, and he was being asked, Bernard, how come Kenyans produce so many long distance runners? And you know what he said? He said, because of the signboards. What about the signboards? Because the signboard says, be aware of lions. Meaning there is something, you are running for your death. It is a do or die. You're going to achieve it. Because if you are not committed, if you are not convinced that what you are doing is of value, you are not going to follow it. Commitment does not come to half-hearted people. Commitment does not come to distractions. If you are easily distracted, you will not commit. That is just part of it. So be convinced. Make subtle changes, but changes that are of value. And let this propel you into your excellent being or your excellent sense of purpose. Then the last question. Do you know when you are supposed to improve? Do you know when you are supposed to improve towards your excellence? The obvious answer to me is today. The answer, if I make it much better, is now. Make it now. The slogan for Nike, I use it as one of the excellent organizations that I know. Do it now, with a tick on it. Do it now. It is important that you do it now. Life lived tomorrow will always be just a day away from being realized. So have the sense of urgency. We are in difficult times. We are in difficult seasons. But let your focus, let your aim be now is the focus. Today, let that be the most important day for you to do. Because, why is it today? Because change, as I've mentioned, is a matter of habits. And indeed, people do not choose the kind of person they want to be at the end of the day. They do not choose the goals. What we choose are the habits. Because say you've got a goal and you want to accomplish it, and you're convicted you want to accomplish. Let's say you're from that inspiring conference and you're like, yes, I got to do this. What is going to determine your success is not your resolution that you're going to accomplish it, but it's the habit, the very first thing you're going to do now after that. Many people who write down their goals now achieve them. Many people who commit to do one small thing today achieve it. Why? Because of the discipline. Why? Because they are progressively, consistently bridging the gap between the goal and accomplishing it, day in, day out. And you find that life never changes unless you change those small habits. Life never changes, or you never get a great habit unless you start with a small little habit. So this is something that we got to start as an individual, build it up as a team, build it up as an organization, cross your bridge daily, and make it a decision as a leader, as an individual, as a team, whatever capacity, that every day, every morning, you're going to wake up into your why. And that may lead us to several or a number of reflections. What are you doing daily that needs to change? Just a thought for each of us. What are you doing daily that needs to change? And what do you need to do? Or maybe what do you need to stop doing to make this change towards your excellence? What do you need to change? These questions help us to know that we can change, but only if we are aware of them. If we've got that consciousness that this is happening and I need to change. So what you're willing to change today in order to bring your excellence tomorrow has to happen today. We've seen this in exercising. As ladies, we get thrilled at being maybe slim, slender. The aim, I believe, is to be fit. And it is such a huge challenge to us. Today we are in, tomorrow we are out because of lack of consistency. So as I wrap up, consistency is an issue that is not consistent with nature. It is inconsistent. And this requires our input. So figure out what works well for you. Figure out, are you focusing on growth or focusing on improving yourself so that you fill your basket day in, day out? And do you want to know whether you are conscious or not? This will depend whether you focus on your destination or you focus on journey. People who are conscious of developing themselves, people who move towards an excellence, count both their success, failures, the little habits as their journey, and they appreciate and enjoy the process. Do you motivate others? Is your goal motivating others? Successful people of excellence, seek to mature you, to be mature in what you do. Are you seasonal learner? Excellent organization, including people, are lifelong learners. Do you take your life as a challenge? Or do you change? Do you stop when you've achieved a goal? It is done. This reminds me, really, this last point of, do you stop when a goal is reached? The first time I ever bought property, I bought some land. The first, I think 3 years I took loan and I was excited. My dad had an estate, so I think I grew up knowing that one of the ways to succeed is to own a plot and to build it. I did exactly that. And I think to me, I had arrived. By doing that, just achieving this, I did arrive. And that was 2000, I think, and 4. I was down up to 2000, I think, and 9. I had not done any other thing. Because to me, buying a plot and building a house was everything to me. When I woke up, it was like, what happened to me? Where have I been? What have I been doing? And that is when you are goal conscious. But if you are growth conscious, you are developing and moving towards excellence. Keep going beyond your goal. Look at yourself. How do you develop yourself? How do you nurture yourself? So friends, this is my way of bringing excellence, not just in the workplace, but beginning with you as an employee, beginning with you as a manager, beginning with you as a leader. Together we can work together, ask ourselves these questions. What am I here for? What does my organization stand for? What do I stand for? Then how can I complete this? Why? Why are we completing it anyway? Why are we starting this organization? Okay, then how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? So, and when are you going to start it? The answer is now. So, I urge all of us to ask these questions to ourselves, not once in a while, but literally every day. And let us grow together this year with excellence in ourselves. And this excellence will be identified wherever we walk, wherever we communicate, and in our organizations. So thank you so much for watching. You're welcome to forward your questions and hope to connect with you later.
Introducing the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat. Do you have a question from any of the following areas? Land survey, valuation, building survey, land administration, engineering survey, estate agency, property management, and geospatial information management. Join the Institution of Surveyors of Kenya live stream and live chat every Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m.